This is Michael Dawes, Director of Public Relations at Barton Community College, and you're tuned in to Cougar Pause on KVGB 1590 AM. Today we're talking with Cheryl Lippert. She's Director of Medical Laboratory Technician Program at Barton Community College. Good morning, Cheryl.
Hi, Mike.
The last time in April I said you were our new director. You've been in here a little while, had your feet to the ground, boots on the ground, so to speak. A lot of stuff going on with your programs.
Yes, there is. We've had some instructor changes. Excellent people have left us, and we've had some more excellent people come on board. We have an increase in enrollment again, and it's I've learned a lot in the past year.
In celebration of Career Technical Education Month, all this month, I'm going to quiz our listeners. Did you know that the founders of Barton's Medical Lab Technician Program are Leonard Bunzelmeyer and Dr. Dusty Jones? Leonard still works for the college as Executive Director of Healthcare and Public Safety Education. Dr. Jones is the 20th Judicial District Coroner. I think that's interesting because our program is more than 30 years old, so these guys have been part of this program for a long, long time. For more interesting facts about Barton's career technical education programs, go to Barton's website at bartoncccc.edu. Okay, back to the program, Cheryl. MLTs are described as diagnostic detectives of medicine. Explain to listeners what that means.
Means we take the pieces and the questions that the healthcare provider, which can be a PA, a physician, a nurse, and we take the bits and pieces of the person that is ill and we put them together to give the practitioner a picture of what's going on so that they can give it a definitive diagnosis and the course of treatment. We found that with most of the diagnoses and treatments, without us, 70 to 80% of what we give the practitioner is how they make those diagnoses and how they plot out their treatment plans for the patients.
So without your role, obviously there's a huge void there that medical care surely suffers.
Yes, and it becomes more obvious as we become more short-staffed because more people are doing double duty, and so the physicians are pushed just as hard as we are. But usually we're hidden away in the basement and nobody knows about us.
Well, considering we've piqued some interest with our listeners, they may be interested. Who really is a typical, not the stereotype, but somebody that may be really well tuned to go into the MLT profession? What type of person are we talking about? Obviously, science is a big thing. What are some other characteristics that make somebody a good candidate for MLT?
Curiosity and organization make good technicians and technologists. A lot of times we're seeing that the students that are coming to us now, they were really curious about science, about animals, mammalians, all sorts of things like that when they were 6 and 7 years old, and somehow they got sidetracked and they went into something else and they got a degree in biology, they got a degree, a nursing degree, or they got a CNA, and then all of a sudden they decide, I've seen this lab thing, these pieces, and I really want to put those together. And so that's where a lot of our students are coming from now. Our non-traditional students, a lot of them have degrees, 4-year degrees. And then they're coming in and say, well, I can't find the kind of job I need, so help me get there. And so that's what we're doing.
Now, you mentioned those individuals that already have bachelor's degrees or in some other area that's within the medical field, what have you. I noticed on your website you have something listed as a fast track degree. Is that what that's related to? Somebody who already has some experience in that field, that they can utilize some of that education and get themselves pushed into the MLT workforce that much quicker?
Yes, it is. Most of the people that come in already have their general education courses out of the way, so all they have left to take are the MLT classes, and it can be pushed through in 2 semesters. We're seeing a lot more people just because they have families, they have full-time jobs, they have other commitments, they have life experiences. They're doing it in about 18 months, and they're being able to set for their certification, their MLT certification. And that's working very well, especially for people that are already employed in a laboratory but aren't technicians or technologists.
And you mentioned last time that I think is so great. I mean, there's demand for MLT, but if you want to go beyond MLT, there's that as well, and it just really works into the succession as far as getting MLT and then progressing from there. So you can really advance in your career if you choose to go more with academia and getting more training.
Right, and you can continue working as a full-time medical laboratory technician as you're working on your bachelor's degree, and then allowed to set for your certification, because it takes 2 years of full-time experience as well as your bachelor's. So as you're getting your bachelor's over those 2 years, you killed 2 birds with 1 stone. And so then you're allowed to set for, and then your salary range goes up, because usually as a phlebotomist you're making about $27,000 a year, and as a medical technologist through the range, average in the state of Kansas is somewhere around $58,000-$60,000 a year.
Barton offers its program, and its medical laboratory technician program. It's a 2-year program through hybrid, online, and within the Kansas City metro area. I assume some of your program is the same for learners, but obviously there's got to be some differences. What are those similarities, and then what are those differences?
For our on-campus students, we provide the laboratory experience that they have. For our distance learners, they have what we call a cooperative lab, where they actually are in a real workplace getting similar or mirrored laboratory experience during the semester that our students on campus are. The clinicals, both on campus and online students have to perform, and that's a set repetitiveness, and they usually do those in the summer, what they've learned during the year.
Okay. Well, we're going to take a break from Cougar Pause. We'll be back after these messages.